All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real stuff and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you there and just like me here. All right, so second one today, and same first name on top of it. So I'm reading this story about Ritchie Blackmore. You know, the guy who used to be in Deep Purple and Rainbow and pretty good guitar player, right? Pretty good. Smoke on the Water, my favorite all-time guitar riff, and many people think it's the best guitar riff ever. I don't know. Could be. Some people have other favorites, but you got to put Richie up there, right? So Ritchie Blackmore's career is on hold after a heart attack. This story broke on April 4th. So I'm a little slow to this one, right? So his wife, Candace, revealed that the former Deep Purple guitarist suffered a heart attack in 2023 and that his career has been on hold as a result. Okay, so again, he's older, whereas Richie Faulkner, the guy who I did a video about earlier, Richie Faulkner is a young guy. And that to me is way more perplexing than this. However, the timing of it, suffered a heart attack. He's now 79 years old, and his doctors have said, hey, you can't fly on an airplane. And he's also got additional health issues. So we don't know how much time Richie has left. Apparently, he's got 6 stents. So it's a big deal. Candace Knight, who is his wife, a great name, by the way, if you're Ritchie Blackmore's wife. It just sounds appropriate, like a almost like it should be an album title or the name of a song. Candace Knight. Richie has actually been told by his cardiologist not to get in a plane. She continued, I believe, she says, I can't believe he's going to be 80 years old on April 14th, which is crazy because he doesn't look it. And he still doesn't act like it. But eventually, medical things wind up catching up with you. Medical things. All right. Well, look, you can always weigh in here with, is the rock and roll lifestyle really conducive to long life and good health? Apparently, he's also dealing with gout, arthritis, and a problem with his back that has been hounding him for years. She says it's getting harder for him. It's tricky. But this is what she says here. I've seen people younger than him in wheelchairs on stage doing what they do, but I think he probably doesn't want people to see him that way. Thank goodness, right? So that's a dig probably at Ann Wilson, maybe Phil Collins. I'm not sure who else has been in a wheelchair recently, but certainly Ann Wilson is younger. And it's just not a good look for rock and roll to say, hey, we're going out on tour in wheelchairs and walkers. But fans keep showing up and they keep buying the tickets because many of them are being wheeled in to these shows. And, Grace Slick was right. She was just right. And she's still right. She's still around. And she said long ago that it's just not meant for old people to be stumbling around out there. Now, some people age really in a positive way, like Ringo Starr, for instance. Looks great. It's insane. Paul McCartney still looks pretty good. Now, does he sound pretty good? Apparently, you can't say that Sir Paul doesn't sound good, but, he's out there and people will pay to see him because he's Paul McCartney. And there are other people. Eric Clapton just turned 80 years old. He looks and sounds great. I don't know how Keith Richards managed to get to 80, but he did. I'm not going to say he looks and sounds good, but he got there. Same with Mick Jagger, obviously. Did Ronnie Wood hit 80 yet? I mean, that's a crazy band of octogenarians, right? But yeah, Candace Knight talks about the new solo album, Sea Glass, featuring Richie Blackmore with Don Osborne. So you can see that right here on YouTube if you look it up. But it's just sad. We're not going to have a lot of these people for too much longer. Now, do I think that if Richie got involved with what everybody was saying to do a couple years ago, did that help his situation or did it hurt his situation? It's interesting that it happened in 2023. But who knows, right? You don't know here because, again, he's an older guy and people are going to attribute it to the fact that he's older and probably didn't take care of himself. Anyway, from a fan's perspective, this is Candace Knight. I would think people would just be happy to be under the same roof with him and listen to him play whatever he comes up with. So she's almost saying it doesn't really matter if he can, get out on stage in a way which doesn't make him look like he's supposed to be in a nursing home. I don't know. She went on to say, so we kind of have this discussion or argument. I'll say discussion, but he was just recently at his cardiologist and they said, let's put traveling by plane on hold. Hopefully we'll get that all straightened out and that'll change. Well, I don't know. Hopefully he is in touch with some holistic doctors. That's what I would recommend these days. But who am I? I'm not an expert. I've noticed all you have to do to be an expert is to declare yourself an expert, and then you're an expert. So anyway, folks, another amazing episode of the Harmless Day. I was going to say as the Ario turns, but no, it's not as the Ario turns. It's as the Dave turns here, as the Ritchie turns. Let's pray that Ritchie gets better. And I'm sure at this point, maybe even Deep Purple would have him back for a show or two, just to get together again, but maybe not. Under the circumstances, though, the guy who invented one of the greatest riffs in rock history, he should get something. Give him some crumbs, but maybe he doesn't like them and they don't care for him anymore, so that's not going to ever happen. All right, folks. Again, Patreon, YouTube memberships, Buy Me a Coffee, PJ Rock Super Chats. Good ways to support this channel as we document the end of the classic rock era. My name is Harmless Dave. God bless everyone, and I will talk to you soon.